The Raiders are getting slept on again, and it's wild. Folks keep calling this year a punt, acting like Vegas is stuck in rebuild limbo with no shot in the AFC West. But when people who've actually lived winning, Howie Long and Tom Brady, starts sounding bullish on what's brewing in Henderson, you should probably lean in. This isn't rumor chasing, it's about what's tangibly changed. The head coach, the quarterback room, the run game, and maybe most importantly, the standard. From the moment Pete Carroll walked into the building, the vibe shifted. That's not fan fiction, that's Howie Long's read. Toughness, accountability, discipline, installed. And philosophically, expect plenty of 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, condensed sets, heavy formations, run the ball downhill, and make defenses feel it for 4 quarters. That's an identity, the kind this franchise's best versions were built on. NFL games come down to inches and decisions. Game management, clock control, 4th down aggression versus field position discipline. Last year, Vegas had catastrophic deficits in all of those areas. Worst head coach in football, a bottom tier quarterback room, a dead last ground game, and an offensive coordinator who never found the answers. Stack on a rash of injuries, especially on defense, and you'd expect blowouts. Instead, 8 of the 13 losses were 1-score games entering the 4th. With all those anchors attached, they were still right there. That tells you 2 things. 1, the roster wasn't as hopeless as the narrative said. 2, better decision-making flips coin flip Sundays. That's where the upgrades matter. Pete Carroll on the headset. Chip Kelly building a modern tempo and angle run quick game menu. Geno Smith steadying the huddle, Ashton Janty bringing burst and bad intentions to the second level. Those 4 changes alone put you in position to close the games you used to bleed away. Now, about the defense. Last year's secondary, historically bad. That's not hyperbole. If you're cutting and churning that room, good, it needed it. Burn it down and rebuild it with length, speed, and guys who can tackle in space. At linebacker, they moved off overpriced names to players who fit. If the defensive line stays healthy and keeps the pocket muddy, Max Crosby leading the Avalanche, Tyree moving around to create mismatches, the whole unit levels up. And yes, this is the line in the sand for Patrick Graham. No more excuses. Carroll's a defensive coach at heart. If the standard isn't met, adjustments will be swift. This is exactly where Howie's point locks in. Clean up the hidden yards of coaching, timeouts, 2-minute operations, situational calls, and you convert 6 wins into 9 or 10 without needing a superstar influx. We saw this movie all over the league last year. Teams with solid talent profiles and bad late-game habits got healthy just by sharpening the in-game edges. Vegas is built to be one of those turnarounds. Let's talk Brady because the discourse got silly. People heard him say them instead of us when he talked about the Raiders and lost their minds. He's on TV now with a monster broadcast deal. He's being professional. That doesn't mean he isn't invested. What matters is the substance. Brady spotlighted exactly what Pete brings: stability, leadership, a repeatable plan. In a division coached by Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, and Sean Payton, you need a heavyweight on your sideline just to get to the final 2 minutes with a chance. Pete is that. He's built programs at USC and in Seattle, weathered storms, developed young players the right way, and never panicked when things got loud. Which is why the Amari Cooper will block the kids narrative is nonsense. Carroll has always played rookies. He just gives them curated roles early, then expands the menu as trust grows. That's how you get Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer both involved without forcing it. That's how Dante Thornton gets schemed shots without drowning in volume assignments. Veterans like Cooper provide the spacing rules and the standard in the room while the young guys scale up. Is this a perfect roster? No. Depth is a real question. Injuries can still derail a season. The secondary is young, and the margin for error in this division is razor thin. The national power rankings, 18 to 28, depending on who you read, reflect that mix of optimism and caution. Analysts generally agree the culture reset is real, and the offense has juice with Geno, Janty, and Bowers, but they want proof on defense beyond Crosby. Fair. That proof will come from better coverage rules on 3rd down and more consistent 4-man pressure to avoid living on the blitz crutch. But calling this a punt year misses what's actually happening. This is step 1 of a team with an identity, something Vegas hasn't had in a while. Carroll is not here to tank. He's here to compete today while laying concrete for tomorrow. The offense finally has a point of view. Stress defenses horizontally with formations and motion. Mary run with quick RPOs. Keep Geno in rhythm and make the throws easier with leverage wins. The defense finally has a mandate. Tackle, rally, win first down, and let 98 finish drives. Back to those one-score games. That's where you feel the day-to-day coaching. Fewer burnt timeouts, cleaner substitution mechanics, better 2-minute management. Knowing when to steal a possession with a 4th and short call versus pinning and playing field position. Last year, the Raiders were the team that blinked. This year with Pete, they're built to be the team that blinks less. There's also the intangible the league never wants the Raiders to rediscover: edge. A team that hits, runs the ball when everyone in the stadium knows it's coming, and suffocates you in the fourth quarter changes the temperature on the field. It drags the game into your style. The schedule won't do them favors, and the West is a meat grinder, but hard to play against travels. So does a plan. Zoom out and it's simple. Better coaching, smarter decisions, an offense that can sustain drives, a QB who won't panic in high leverage downs, a run game that gives you 4 yards when you need 3, a pass rush that shortens the QB clock. You stack those edges and the math flips. The league will notice late because it always does with Vegas. But when this team starts playing Raider football again, heavy, mean, and situationally sharp, watch how quickly rebuild becomes problem. Let the rankings laugh in August, make them adjust in December. Just win, baby.